bilirubin in urine. So to test the liver function, we have to observe the amount of bilirubin gets excreted in urine also. So basically, the bilirubin should not be present in urine in a normal healthy human being. If you find any amounts of bilirubin, that it may be an indication of a liver injury or damage. So normally the urine levels must be around 0 to 0.3 mg per deciliter. It should be in those values. So that means it should not be present around 0 to a maximum of 0.3 mg per deciliter. So this bilirubin exists in two forms, conjugated and unconjugated forms. In both the forms, this conjugated bilirubin is water soluble, so it gets easily excreted through urine in case of obstructive jaundice. Why we are mentioning particularly obstructive jaundice is nothing but, so with jaundice we'll have majorly, so you will have hepatocellular jaundice, so hepatic, which is due to damage to liver, and hemolytic jaundice, it is due, the jaundice condition occurs due to lysis of heme, that means nothing but increase in number of RBCs undergoes senescence or lysis. It may leads to more amount of production of bilirubin, so thereby causes jaundice. And other thing is obstructive jaundice. So the jaundice occurring due to obstruction in the bile duct, that is obstructive jaundice. So whenever an obstruction occurs inside a bile duct, in that case, so this water soluble bilirubin, it gets excreted through urine. So that's why, so it is a conjugated bilirubin gets excreted through urine, and this can be detected by Faucher's test. We'll see in case of test. And this urobilinogen will be present in very trace amounts in urine normally, but in case of obstructive jaundice will not observe the amount of urobilinogen in urine. Why? Because urobilinogen will be absent in urine, and conjugated bilirubin will be more in case of obstructive jaundice in urine. So why? Because the conjugated urine, which is soluble form, so it easily reaches the kidneys and gets excreted through urine. So but the unconjugated form, which is left over, so that will not be able to move, get excreted. So in case of obstructive jaundice, so conjugated bilirubin will be present, whereas urobilinogen will be absent in urine. Whereas in hemolytic jaundice, if you observe hemolytic jaundice, the condition due to increased lysis of RBC and an uncontrolled amount or more amounts, or more cells get aged at a time. So these are the factors which may lead to hemolytic jaundice. In that case, you can observe here, so urobilinogen levels will increase, whereas bilirubin levels will be absent. And like here, unlike the case in case of obstructive jaundice, it is an opposite case. Urobilinogen will be absent, whereas conjugated bilirubin present in urine sample. Whereas in hemolytic jaundice, more amount of heme results in the production of more amounts of bilirubin levels. So that's why. So this bilirubin levels will be more will be produced in case of intestine. So that way more amount of stercobilin will be formed. That's why urobilin and stercobilin. So this bilirubin levels completely absent. So this urobilinogen levels will be more in case of hemolytic jaundice. So we have seen the bilirubin levels in case of both serum and urine, and now the amount of urobilinogen in urine. We have to understand about this urobilinogen. So basically the urobilinogen inside the urine, it gets encased in cases like hemolytic anemia or infectious hepatitis, cirrhosis or liver damage. So urinary urobilinogen, nothing but the urobilinogen which have reached to the urine, to the kidneys, gets excreted through urine. So it gets increased in cases like hemolytic anemia. Anemia condition occurring due to more hemolysis. So more number of RBCs get destroyed, and that's why there will be a deficiency of this RBCs, so which may leads to hemolytic anemia. In that case, we will see more amount of urobilinogen, because obviously more amount of hemolysis occurs and there will be more amount of urobilinogen levels. And infectious hepatitis, so maybe due to bacterial infections liver damage occurs, so that's why it in case of hepatitis also, so liver damage, so at that time also you will be observing the more amount of urobilinogen in urine. And also liver damage, that is cirrhosis, death of liver we can say simply. So in that condition also you can easily observe the amount of the level of this urobilinogen get increased more in urine. So if you observe the amount of urobilinogen in case of hemolytic jaundice, so urobilinogen will be more, whereas bilirubin will be absent. In case of hepatitis, so urine urobilinogen is more and urine bilirubin is very little or sometimes may be absent. In case of biliary obstruction, okay, obstructive jaundice, nothing but any obstruction occurring either a fat molecule or a clot like that. If any obstruction occurring inside the biliary duct or bile duct, so in that case normal urobilinogen will be present in urine, because due to the obstruction the urobilinogen, the soluble form will not be formed much, so that's why urobilinogen will be normal, whereas bilirubin levels will be more in urine. Okay, so urobilinogen is a soluble form that has reached the kidneys, whereas this bilirubin, so either it is in a conjugated or unconjugated form, it directly so reaches the kidneys and damages kidneys also sometimes. So this urobilinogen, basically it is a colorless compound formed in intestine by bacterial action. We have seen it already. So the bacterial enzymes act on to the bilirubin and gets converted, they converts this bilirubin to urobilinogen. In intestine, this urobilinogens will be converted to stercobilinogens or stercobilin. If we have a low levels of urobilinogen in urine, so it indicates what? So if low level, if we have seen here high levels of urobilinogen in both the cases of hemolytic jaundice and hepatitis. If there is very low levels of urine urobilinogen, it indicates obstructive jaundice, because here you can observe increased levels, or at least their normal levels are maintained, and maybe this urobilinogen also increase sometimes due to intake of antibiotics, broad spectrum antibiotics. So why? Because this urobilinogen is going to convert into stercobilinogen by bacterial enzymes. So if the bacterial enzymes are absent, why? Because the bacteria gets killed due to intake of this antibiotics. So this intestinal bacteria will be killed